Alright guys, today we're going to look at how to write a good concluding paragraph. So what does a conclusion do? Well, it's going to summarize your essay. It's going to show that you proved the point that you set out to make, and it's going to give your readers a sense of completion. It leaves them remembering your main point as well. So that kind of sounds like an introduction. So what is the difference between an introductory paragraph and a concluding paragraph? And the difference is how you approach the topic. So think about these two paragraphs as funnels. One is going to lead towards the body of your essay, while the other leads the reader away from the body of your essay. So the introduction begins with a general approach to the topic. We like a good hook. All right, and then it's going to move towards some specific aspects of it, your thesis. All right, then we have our body paragraphs in there. And then your conclusion begins to move away from those specific aspects and moves again to the general topic of your essay. So what main point did you want to make in your essay? That should be in your conclusion. Did you make it? Summarize it in your conclusion. And often you can use that introductory paragraph as a guide. And it's going to help you come full circle and give your reader a sense of completion. So perhaps you began your essay by saying something like, there are 3 classes at school that I absolutely can't wait to go to every day. Then you might make this first sentence, you would make this the first sentence of your conclusion. Gym, math, and art are the 3 classes I look forward to the most. You see how the first one is more general and then the last one is more specific. It says what the actual classes are. So some other ways to summarize your essay's main points. Refer briefly to the topic of each paragraph that you wrote. All right, by looking back at those body paragraphs. Leave the readers with something to think about and then suggest something that readers can do about what they've just read. So how do you want to structure that final paragraph, that conclusion? Well, you will need a topic sentence just like any other paragraph. So you want to repeat the ideas in your thesis statement in that topic sentence, but with a deeper understanding because you've explored it as you've gone throughout your paper. Then you want to have some supporting sentences. Summarize those main points in the bottom of your essay, and then your closing sentence wants to connect back to the introduction to really clinch those ideas in the essay. This is where you can give your readers something to think about or a call to action. So what if a new idea tries to sneak into the final paragraph? Well, if it's really important, then you need to go back and give it a paragraph of its own in the body of the essay. But if not, then don't. The concluding paragraph is not the place to introduce new information or make more points about your topics. You either want to leave that out or write a new paragraph before the conclusion. All right, so here is your so what tip for writing an effective conclusion. After writing your topic sentence, ask yourself, so what? Why is this important? Your next sentence should explain that. Then ask yourself again, well, why is that important? And then explain that. And that can really help you move through your conclusion. So here's an example of that so what method of starting the concluding paragraph. Education is very important in society. Well, all right, so what? Why is that important? Well, it gives all citizens an equal start. Well, why is that important? And then you would answer that question and keep going. Strategies for ending the concluding paragraph is sometimes it's hard to really just clinch that final paragraph. You don't want to ramble and you don't want to have a sudden stop to it. So you want to make sure that these are some things you can do to end it. You could add a quotation or surprising insight from the materials that you researched. You could suggest some action to take or a solution. You could bring up some questions for further study, give your audience something to think about, like we said, or point out the broader consequences of the points that you made. So, we talked about what all the things that you want to include. Well, there are some things that you might not want to include. Some overused phrases like in conclusion, in summary, in closing. You shouldn't have to state the obvious. If it is a good concluding paragraph, that will be evident from how you write it. You don't need to write these. All right, you don't want to put in a new idea or a subtopic, and you don't want to put any supporting evidence or details. These should be in the body of your essay. So hopefully this will help you when you are working on the concluding paragraph for your essays.